Hey, it's Kyle here, and today I'll be continuing my series of videos where I explore the animated world of Star Wars. If you haven't seen any of these videos yet in the series, basically I am a huge Star Wars fan, but a huge hole in my fandom was I'd never seen any of the Star Wars animated content. Just when it first came out, I never got around to watching it, and then as more seasons came out, and then later more series came out, I just felt like I was farther behind, and it was a little daunting to catch up, but 2020 has been a crazy year with a pandemic, and been staying at home a lot like everybody has been, so I finally decided with Disney Plus this is the perfect time to binge watch and catch up on all the great Star Wars animated content. So basically I'm doing a review video for each season of all the series I'm watching. So I'm currently on season 3 of Star Wars Clone Wars. Really enjoyed season 3 a lot. I think my favorite character for this season is definitely Ahsoka. I really felt like the character really took a big step forward in this season. The first couple of seasons I enjoyed her, but she just wasn't one of my favorite characters. Didn't dislike her at all. I thought she was a good character, she's not a great character. Didn't feel like she could carry a storyline on her own yet, where in season 3, she carries several major story arcs on her own, and she excels at it. She really becomes an awesome driving force behind the show in season 3. Loved her story arcs this season, how she developed. Nothing but positive things to say about Ahsoka in season 3. Overall, I think I still would probably prefer season 2 a little bit to season 3, and one reason I'd say that is the first half of season 3 was good, I just didn't think it was great. The second half of season 3 I thought was awesome. But there was just a couple story arcs in the first part of season 3 that weren't my favorite. So I think, at least for now, I'd still say season 2 is my favorite season of Clone Wars. So with that out of the way, I'm going to kind of do a little review, recap, I should say, of the episodes in season 3. So you get started off with Clone Cadets, where you get to kind of see what it's like for the clones being trained on Kamino. I did enjoy this one, as I've said in my earlier videos. I really enjoy the various clone trooper characters and their different personalities and their uniqueness, and I thought it was interesting to kind of explore that and how that develops early on and even in their training. Then you have ARC Troopers, another episode focused at Kamino, and again you get more of that great clone trooper content I kind of enjoy. So first 2 episodes I was a big fan of. Then you get supply lines. It was okay. Big complaint, not surprising about this episode if you see my reviews for the first couple of seasons, is Jar Jar plays a big role in this episode, and I'm just not a fan of Jar Jar. I just would prefer so much if he just wasn't there. But, oh well. And now you get some of the first big Ahsoka content in season 3, and you get Spear of Influence, which basically is Ahsoka is kind of helping to rescue some individuals who've been kidnapped by the Trade Federation. And to me, this is the first point in season 3 where you're going like, oh, she's kind of stepping up. She's getting more powerful. Her character's getting more interesting. So enjoy that episode. Next up, I really love this story arc, this next one, because it's set on Mandalore. I love the Mandalorian storylines in the Clone Wars. So you get Corruption, where Padme is visiting Mandalore and working with the Duchess Satine to try to root out corruption that's kind of becoming rampant on Mandalore and really threatening the peace and stability of that planet. That leads right into the Academy, where Padme basically recruits Ahsoka to come to Mandalore and kind of help teach some young Mandalorians, but at the same time kind of become involved in the fight against corruption. Great episode. Then you have that leads right into Assassin, another Padme Ahsoka episode. I really enjoy those guys. They're a good combo. Their personalities bounce off each other really well. great chemistry. So I always enjoy it when there's some Ahsoka Padme centered episodes. And basically, assassin Ahsoka starts having visions that Padme is going to be assassinated, and this Ahsoka has to figure out how to stop it because she's kind of just learning how to interpret Force vision. So she's still unsure of herself, and she's still gaining her confidence as a Jedi. So I really enjoyed that, and I really enjoyed how Padme is depicted in this episode, where she's a brave, very brave individual who's fighting what she believes in. And even when she finds out there's a risk that she'll be assassinated, she still wants to go forward with her speech, and because she feels like she just needs to do this. This is a way she can help produce a peaceful resolution to what's going on in the universe at the moment. So I think Padme and Ahsoka come across brilliantly in this episode. Next up, you have Evil Plans. I love this episode because it's heavily focused on C-3PO and R2-D2. Love the droid content in the Clone Wars. They're always really fun when the episodes have a big drone character, be it R2-D2, C-3PO, or some other droids. Sorry, I could have talked there for a second. But in this episode, basically they're being kidnapped by some bounty hunters for the information that they believe they might have in their memory bank. So it's kind of interesting to kind of see basically R2-D2 and C-3PO kind of fighting some bounty hunters on Coruscant. It was kind of an interesting episode. Then you get the Hunt for Zero. Zero the Hutt is heavily involved in this. We get some more bounty hunter stuff. This episode was okay. Didn't dislike it. Actually, there are really no episodes I hated in this season, but this just wasn't one of my favorites. Next up, you get another Padme and Ahsoka episode, which you get a lot of those this season. You get Heroes on Both Sides, which basically Padme and Ahsoka kind of secretly travel to a separatist planet to meet with a senator from their senate and kind of figure out if there's some way they can kind of help bring peace to the between the separatists and the Republic. It's kind of interesting because you don't really get to see a lot of the more political side of the separatists. You just get the Count Dooku and his military leaders. So it's kind of interesting to see the regular person viewpoint of the separatist side and how they believe they're on the right and the Republic is the evil force. So I really enjoyed that one. I should apologize if you hear some noise in the background. One of my neighbors just started mowing their lawn, so I apologize for that. That episode leads into the next episode, Pursuit of Peace. Kind of this combo episode, kind of dealing with it and how the ramifications of that meeting plays out then on Coruscant. Then you lead into one of my favorites, if not my favorite story arc in season 3, which is basically the Night Sisters / Savage storyline. So you get the Night Sisters, a group of kind of powerful witches who kind of dabble in the dark side of the Force on Dathomir, and how they play a role in this great war that's currently going on. So you get the Night Sisters, which really introduces the Night Sisters, society, as Ventress is basically flees for her life after Count Dooku tries to have her killed on the order of Palpatine. And Ventress, we learn, is actually from Dathomir, so she flees back to her basically her family to try to get revenge on Dooku. Really enjoyed this. Before this episode, I was never Ventress. I didn't really dislike her, but she wasn't one of my favorite characters either. And this episode, I really helped develop her character more. I started finding it a lot more interesting. Next episode is Monster, which basically the Night Sisters, their strategy is to kind of create a replacement for Ventress and basically have him as a secret agent to then kill Dooku. And it's they create an individual, Savage Opress, which is we learned is from the same species that Darth Maul was, and basically, so it's kind of like they're able to sell it on Dooku, like, hey, Darth Maul is really powerful. We can create something just as powerful as Darth Maul. But little does Dooku know that they're really planning on Savage to actually assassinate Dooku when he gets closer. And then you get Witches of the Mist, which is kind of the wrap-up of this little story arc. with Savage gaining Dooku's trust, and we see how that plays out. Then the Ventress comes back with some Night Sisters to be involved, and it's you start to see this conflict, and then Ventress and Savage start to fight, and you get a three-way conflict. It's very, very interesting, very action-packed. I love this story arc. This leads right into another great story arc, the Mortis story arc. So you get Altar of Mortis, Ghost of Mortis. Oh, and sorry, I forgot the first one, Overlord. So it's Overlords, Altar of Mortis, and Ghost of Mortis. And basically Anakin, Obi-Wan, and Ahsoka travel to Mortis, which is this kind of mysterious, I can't remember if it's a planet or a moon. When they get there, it ends up being a very mystical, weird Force planet or moon. And basically there's three individuals, the father, the son, and the sister. And the brother and the sister both represent, one's the light side of the Force, one's the dark side of the Force, and the father is the one that kind of keeps the Force in balance. And over the course of episodes, this story arc, basically the father is trying to recruit Anakin to take his place and help to maintain balance in the Force. He believes he's the chosen one, and it's his job to make sure that the brother and the sister stay in balance, and that the brother, specifically who's the dark side of the Force, doesn't escape and bring chaos to the universe. So it's very interesting because basically you're getting Anakin is getting to make a choice on if he's actually going to be able to bring balance to the Force, or if he wants to return to the universe and help end the war and be with Padme and stuff like that. And the entire time this is going through, you're seeing how his choices will impact what happens in like A New Hope, Empire, Return of the Jedi, so on and so on. So it is a very fascinating episode. It is very different too, because there's a lot of very Force heavy, a lot of mystical imagery. It was a different feeling from other Clone Wars episodes, but I really enjoy it. Next up, you get the Citadel, which was kind of an interesting episode, but it wasn't one of my favorites. But that leads into counterattack, Citadel rescue, and the one part of this little story arc that I really did enjoy is Tarkin is introduced. I always enjoyed Tarkin as a character, so he gets introduced in the story arc. I should say I did enjoy the story arc, but compared to the Mortis storyline and the Night Sisters storyline, of the story arcs in the second half of the season, this was probably my least favorite. Still, all three of those are awesome. It's like different levels of awesomeness, basically. But you get a lot of really cool Ahsoka stuff again. Anakin and Obi-Wan. The part of these story arc I really enjoyed is Tarkin is definitely, you can see he has the viewpoint, which will become the Imperial one, that they need to take harder military viewpoints. Sorry, now motorcycle going by. I apologize for that. He doesn't think the Jedi take extreme enough actions, and Anakin finds himself agreeing with him a lot, and Obi-Wan and Ahsoka are kind of completely on the opposite side. You begin to see the little seeds of Anakin drifting towards the dark side / the Imperial viewpoint. And it was kind of interesting to see those little seeds planted there. In the last couple episodes, you get some another two cool Ahsoka episodes with Padawan Lost and Wookiee Hunt. And basically Ahsoka is kidnapped, and she is taken to this planet where this species of aliens basically hunt people they kidnap. And they really like the idea of hunting a young Jedi. And it's up to Ahsoka to kind of rally the other prisoners and fight back. Really cool episode. Obviously it reminds me a lot of stuff like Hunger Games, and obviously there's been a lot of content where people hunt other people, and it's kind of an interesting concept to see that in Star Wars. Last episode was really cool because Chewie was actually one of the prisoners who was dropped off, so it was nice to see a little bit of Chewie content in the Clone Wars. But overall, like I said, I really enjoyed Season 3 of the Clone Wars. In the comment section below, let me know what were your thoughts on Season 3. What were some of your favorite story arcs and characters? As always, if you liked the video, please hit that like button. I really appreciate it. If you haven't yet, please subscribe to the channel. I'm really enjoying doing this series. I hope you're enjoying watching it. So I'll see you at my next video, and may the Force be with you.